Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Albert Zertuche, and I have gotten in the part for the Avid 130, the Beast reel, of the for the pin assemblies that are on the slide plate there that enable it to either go into free spool and or go into the overlock position from the strike position. So we're missing the one for the bottom to go into free spool, and we're going to go ahead and pull off the right side plate housing and go and get it installed.
Gotta buy. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I got a line. I'ma call the whole team.
Going to be replacing that one with the point right there. Alright guys, so I have to admit I have never replaced this part on an Avid 130, or this part in general for any of the reels. This is the first time for me, so I am kind of figuring it up as I'm going along. And yep, some common sense, you know, from the talk I had with Scott over at Avid. He said that basically all I had to do was push it out and then reinsert the new one, because the whole part assembly comes already pre-assembled. So once I got it out, all I have to do is push it back in and replace it back onto the reel, and I am good to go. Very nice and easy, pretty harmless in the amount of work that was needed to do that, other than disassembling the reel and making sure none of the parts screws got lost in the transfer.
What'd you say, a 6.5 or 7 foot Fenwick shark rod?
I got one, but it's a blank, not already made.
Okay, hold on. No, he has it built.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to see how much you think it would be worth. Without seeing it, we don't know, right?
The Fenwick blanks weren't very much. Like, I bought one unlimited class rod for like 85 bucks.
Yeah, he said he had it built in the 80s by Roy.
Well, then it's a custom job. Then it all depends how it looks and all of that.
Yeah, we would have to see how it looks and everything like that, bro. To give you a real estimate.
But tell him what I told you about the one that I bought that was.
Okay. Thank you. He's on his way over here anyway.
No. Yeah, but that same time frame that I broke that one rod when I was just playing with it, I found a Fenwick in the pawn shop, and I bought it for like 80 bucks. So
Yeah, but
they have a name, but it wasn't like, oh, I mean, they were kind of made a little famous. They got some notoriety because of the movie Jaws, but on that they don't
sell.
no, they don't really have that kind of name, you know what I mean?
I got a name, but not a name.
Yeah. So there we go, guys. That part is in there. Make sure everything's ready to go. Think on that. Alright. Now we can ship him back his reel. Or his reels, because he actually got an 80 and a 130 at the same time. So So we're getting this one packed up for him and stuff like that, but yeah, we'll see. Definitely cool. Alright, that's one job done. Alright guys, so one of the other things too that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to zoom in on this one because we have a ton of spooling videos showing braid, and our guys, or we've been getting a lot of questions about the alright, so this is a real good example of why we use monofilament on certain reels, and those certain reels are only when they are offshore trolling. You want to use monofilament, which they've got, but they only have a small, you know, this is probably 20 feet, if that. Let me see. I'm measuring it out over here. 6, 12, 18, about 24 feet, 23 feet. But right here is a real big deal. It looks like it's rope, and it's actually not rope. It's a hollow core braid, but it's been twisted up so bad because all of this was in the water. They let it out behind the boat to troll it. And this is a very important thing for everybody that doesn't do any offshore trolling, that if you're ever going to spool up a reel with braid, you have to have monofilament top shot. Because mono has a backbone. See how I'm twisting that like that? And it moves all the line. Well, if I try to do that with braid, look, all I'm doing is twisting up the braid. Braid doesn't have the backbone that is needed, so that way if it's starting to twist or whatever, the monofilament can actually fight it enough to where it doesn't twist the braid right there. This one has been twisted up so bad that it's unsalvageable, and I'll be taking it off. And the guy thought it was rope. I was like, no, that's braid. It's just been twisted so bad that you can't save it. You know what I mean? And you probably could if you want to sit there and take out all the twist and all that. I mean, if you want to invest the time, by all means. I mean, y'all seen me sit there and invest time into undoing a whole bunch of braid that got tangled up from a break off and stuff like that. So you can, and you can see how the twist is getting further, or the twist rotations is getting fewer and fewer per inch, whereas at the beginning it looked like rope. It looked like the cheap twine that was there, and there's probably, I don't know how many twists per inch, but it's easily about 20 to 30 twists per inch. Where right here we've got 1, 2 twists per inch. Further down you go, you'll see where it starts to really show the numbers, where it starts to not be twisted up as much. However, he let it go a lot. Like you can see, this is way down there. But he was unsure of the braid, and he just wants me to go and reset it back up for him, so that way he can go offshore and use it next month. But I just wanted to do this by hand, so it'd give us an opportunity to see what was being worked on here. Man, even way down there, all of that is twisted. God, how far out did he let it go? I mean, you don't have to troll out that far behind the boat. That's twisted up too. See, not even when I run my baits off the beach do they ever come back this twisted up. And I run mine deep, guys. Y'all already know that. So. And the thing about solid braid, guys, and I know I've been speaking on hollow core this whole time. Hollow core, you're going to see this. Solid braid, you will not see it because it's already so there's not that many carriers in there. They have, 4, 6, or 8. So if you twist it up, it doesn't really look like that. It doesn't look like it's twisted, but it is, guys. So just a heads up on that. Just because it doesn't look like it has it, it really does have it. Did a uni to uni right there. And also too, the customer has given us the ability to use the reel to do other spooling videos. So that's what we're going to be doing next, is once we get all this downloaded and figure out what happened or what's going on here, we're actually going to strip it down all the way to use this reel to do some spooling videos with the tight line braid, so we can get some line capacity and numbers on it, which will be awesome. Something we really need to do. Yep, still twisted. Golly. Yeah, I talked to TJ, or DJ, and he cut his foot open on the kayak.
Yeah. He said he don't know what happened. He got pushed in a sandbar. He went flying. Because we went out to the beach. So yesterday we were gonna go check him out. But I'm like, damn! So I called him. I just texted him, hey, you floated yet? That's how bad the water was. Then he called me about 10 minutes later. Oh, dude, had to go. I got D&E, the winds were kicking. I was like, man, it's all the way to the dunes. You know, they had to go to the ER. Emergency care.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still in town or did he already book?
He said they were talking about going out on the big boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said he was leaving tomorrow, I think. But I haven't.
That's going to be choppy. Yep. A little better, but still no good. A lot of twist. Yeah, the guys working in the back moving around a lot of weight. They poured out a ton of weight for some waters and stuff, so now they're working through them, cleaning them up and broken and clean so they can get here to the shop. Still twist. Actually, no, that ain't twist. That's actually a good line right there. Let's see. Go back. That's where the twist starts right there. So that's where I'm going to cut it. We'll start from there.
Yeah, that did look bad.
No, it's horrible.
Did he have two different lines on it?
Yeah.
Both
Both hollows, just yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it mostly in that. You can tell on the top, I guess the white part, the white braid.
Yeah. Well, this is the prime example of why you need monofilament top shot on your braid when you are trolling offshore. And it's the only time that I really ever use braid myself or monofilament on my braid. on that, if I'm not offshore fishing, I'm not using monofilament.
Oh, he didn't show you why it's twisted?
Yeah, the monofilament top shot, it was short as hell, but they were trolling with it offshore.
Well, no, they had the swivel seized. No, that's what happened. The swivel seized. So you know when they don't spin.
Even if it were to be spinning, if you don't have mono long enough to where the mono's in the water, the braid's gonna twist up. End of story. I mean, even it made it worse, but definitely if they didn't have enough mono in there, the braid still would have twisted up like that. So there you go. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna down spool it all the way to the knot, and then I'm gonna start doing my spooling videos to get different line capacities with the tight line braid, and that will be coming on the library here real soon. But yeah, prime example, you gotta have monofilament, especially when you're trolling offshore fishing. If you're on the beach fishing, guys, you don't need it. You see it on my reels all day long. I never put any monofilament top shot and stuff like that. So, yeah.